Welcome to EDU World Space.
Hi guys, this is chapter 24, problem 6, and it's asking us which of the problems in the construction of the consumer price index might be illustrated by each of the following situations. So remember, the consumer price index is a measure of the cost of living, and it's also used to calculate inflation. And section 24.1 talks about the problems of the consumer price index, but I'll list them very briefly here. So problem 1 is the substitution bias. Basically, people substituting away from expensive goods towards cheaper goods that are very similar to the original good. 2 is the introduction of new goods. So, with the advent of computers and cell phones, these goods didn't exist before, so it's hard to compare with constant consumer price index. And the third is quality changes. I don't think anybody would argue that a computer today is just the same as a computer was 10 years ago. So how do you incorporate those changes in quality in a consumer price index? So for this first question, part A, so the invention of the cell phone, that's a new good, right? And how do you add that to the basket of goods? Part B, so the introduction of airbags in cars, I don't think anybody would say that a car without an airbag is just as good as a car with an airbag, so that's definitely a quality change. Part C is increased personal computer purchases in response to a decline in their price. So that's a substitution issue, right? You're substituting personal time and using a different tool other than a computer to switching to a computer because the computer is now cheaper. Part D is more scoops of raisins in each package of Raisin Bran, and that's definitely a quality change. More raisins is better Raisin Bran. And part E is the greater use of fuel-efficient cars after gasoline price increases. And again, that would be a substitution bias because you're substituting away from these gas-guzzling vehicles to these more fuel-efficient vehicles. So let's just writing this down. So part A is number 2, it's a new good. Right? Part B, the introduction of airbags, is a 3, it's a quality change. C, the increased personal computer use is a substitution effect. D, more scoops of Raisin Bran is again a quality change. And then E up here, E is going to be greater use is a substitution bias. So this was chapter 24, problem 6.